So what's good, y'all? I hope every single one of you guys are having an excellent day. It's a beautiful day. And I want to thank you guys. We're almost at 100 subscribers. I'm just so happy, and I thank every single one of you guys that support me, and I appreciate it so much, and it just gives me so much more motivation to do this, and I really enjoy this. I really hope y'all enjoy this. If you really enjoy the video, leave a like and make sure y'all subscribe. And I'm going to be talking about social anxiety and my experiences with it and things that I think that can help you guys that go through social anxiety, because just like depression and low self-esteem, they're all tied in together and something that we all deal with. There's something that no matter who you are, you can relate to this, and it's something that you shouldn't hide, and you should be upfront with it, because if someone talks bad to you just because you have this, then they're most likely going through it themselves, but they just don't know how to cope with it. So I'm going to go back to the earliest I remember I had it, and it all started when I was in elementary school. And I remember I was in recess, and I was afraid of my skin color, because I always would get talked about, even by my own family, that since I'm light skinned, I'm very emotional and I'm soft and all these other things that got into my head. And as I grew older, it made me not proud of being who I am, and it made me very conservative. And I just did not like hanging around a lot of people, because I'll always be afraid, like, am I acting a certain way? I always be so self-conscious on acting in a manner that pleases someone else. And it just got so bad to the point to where I would literally have to, like, just constantly change everything about me, and just constantly evaluate, am I fitting someone else's needs? And it was just so bad, and something that I really don't like to talk about, but it's something I own now. Back then I really didn't own it, and it's something I own now. And one thing that helped me a lot is, I know you probably hear it a lot, but stop caring what other people think. Now, I'm going to actually get more in depth into that and what is involved in that. And one thing that helps me is realize that the perception people have on you isn't reality. If someone thinks of me in a certain way, doesn't actually mean I'm that way. It's just their opinion. It's how they perceive. We all perceive things in a different manner, but it doesn't make it right. Opinions aren't facts. So let's get that straight. If someone has an opinion on you, it does not mean that it's a fact or is true. It doesn't mean that. Most times people judge others because of themselves. Like I said recently, a lot of people that go through this stuff, they are raised in environments where this is all they know. All they know is how to downplay others and put people down to their level, because they don't know how to get through it. So they try to make themselves feel better any way they can by downplaying others and constantly criticizing them. So when you see that stuff, don't let it affect you, because if you let it affect you, then you're giving them more power. You're giving them power over you. You don't want to give nobody on earth should have that much power over you. And another thing is social media. Social media is another thing that really hurt my self-esteem, because when I would constantly see people traveling around the world, it would just make me think how boring my life is, and I need to do more with my life, and I need to be more busy and stuff. And I realized that most of the people that's posting this stuff, they themselves are going through something. Nobody's life that perfect. You have to understand, when you see somebody's story, it's just in that moment. They're not showing you the bad stuff that goes on. They're just going to show you the good stuff that goes on in their life. They're not going to show you the boring, dull moments that we all have. They're just going to show you the lit moments. And for all you know, they can Photoshop those. Most of those pictures that you see is Photoshop. Most of the settings that they take, they just get it from a background. It's all fake. And when you feed your mind that stuff, it really hurts your self-esteem, and it really just makes it really bad to the point to where you constantly overthinking. And that's another thing I used to do, is I would just constantly overthink every single thing. Like, am I doing this? Am I doing that? And that's not healthy at all. It was an addiction. And that's another thing. What I would do is cut back on social media. I'm not saying you have to delete it, but just use it once a week, once every 2 weeks or whatever, or just for the purpose of helping others, which is why I use social media. I use it for the sole purpose of spreading positivity. That's the only reason why I would use it, because when you cut back on social media, it really helps your mind and it helps you get to relax. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you need to do, is when you wake up in the morning, relax your mind. We constantly busy every single day with school, homework, all this other stuff, and we don't get time to spend with ourselves. Every single day, if you can, spend 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes by yourself. You need to spend more time by yourself, because when you spend time by yourself, it really helps your self-love. You need to build more self-love. When you build self-love for yourself, you don't have to constantly look to other people or worry about if other people are judging you in this matter. And when you go out to see someone, you won't have to think all these thoughts in your mind, because nobody wants to think this. Nobody wants to constantly have to think this, but because of the environments that we surround ourselves with and the habits that we have every single day, it's something that's subconscious. And that's one thing I will preach before I go, is no matter what you do, it don't matter what you do, if it's not in here in the subconscious mind, it's not going to do anything. You have to have a habit every single day, because only once it's in the subconscious mind will you actually start to see improvement. Now, of course, every once in a while I still have some type of social anxiety. It's not something it's always going to be with me. I'm imperfect. We all imperfect. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have flaws, and we're all beautiful in our own way, as cliche as it sounds, but it's true, because we all have negatives, we all have positives. But it doesn't matter, because people now, the media is trying to portray that these flaws are bad, but you understand, flaws are part of being human. And people are trying to get rid of these flaws, and it's just not human. They're trying to chase something that isn't there. And when they try to chase something that isn't there, they're always going to be left empty inside. So when you really embrace your flaws, look yourself in the mirror. What I do is look yourself in the mirror and just tell yourself the things that you love about yourself. You always constantly talk about the things that you hate. Like for me, I always will talk about my nappy hair and stuff, and talk about, like, I wish I had white hair where it was silky and smooth. But you need to appreciate the things that you're blessed with. We're all blessed with gifts. Whether you're not, you're not the most good looking person, whatever, or you may not be the most athletic person, you might have a good mind. You might be really intelligent. You might be able to help other people. There's a lot of other things that we can focus on instead of negativity. So if you guys really enjoyed this video, like I said, leave a like and subscribe. And if you guys really want to, I'll do a part 2 on social anxiety, because I know so many people that go through it. If not everybody goes through it. So let me know if you guys want that, and I'll catch you on the next video, and I'm out.